Hello mates, I hope you're all doing well. So today I'm doing yet some more of that reacting thing that I do from time to time, but this time we're going to be looking at some American traditional tattoos that have been posted on the Reddit. We all love traditional tattoos here, right? And we all want to look at some sick ones, so let's get into it. So our first photo depicts a Hoover with a banner around it that says "Sucks to suck." I'm sure it does suck to suck, but I wouldn't know. So it's like one of those proper like old-timey Hoovers, like my nan had one of these kinds of Hoovers. It's a very fun idea for a traditional tattoo. It's not something you see a whole lot of every day. In terms of the actual execution of the tattoo, I'm not gonna lie, it's not the greatest line work that I've ever come across in my life. I mean, I've definitely come across worse though, that is for sure, but it's a little shaky, especially around the banner. The smoke around it though has been done pretty well, I would say, with like the washed out black. I'm not that into the colour palette, like this blue and how it contrasts with this yellow. Something about that just doesn't quite, sit right with me. I'd go for a different shade of blue, or maybe even a green actually would be nice there. This red though on the actual Hoover bag itself is very tasty, I would say. In terms of the actual composition, I think the composition is very nice. Just the actual execution of the line work, as I say, I'm not a big fan of this blue and this yellow and how they kind of contrast together. But it's a perfectly decent tattoo. I'd give it maybe like a 6 out of 10. Okay, next up we have like this ornamental vase with some flowers. Leaves coming out of it. I passed biology at school, I swear. I got full marks actually on one of those exams. I just apparently don't know the difference between a flower and a leaf, but who needs to know that kind of stuff? Like, who walking around in their everyday life actually needs to know that kind of stuff? This is a very cool tattoo though. My eyes are immediately drawn to like these cracks that are in the vase. That is a really cool little detail that's in there. It's a very nice colour palette. Everything contrasts beautifully together. I love this shade of blue that's in the little flower in the middle. See, I do know that that is a flower, and the flower has got leaves coming off it as well. I know my shit really. The leaves coming out the top of the vase, they're really well done. The line work, like the previous photo with the Hoover, is not that great. Like, it's definitely passable. Like, I have seen worse, but it's a little shaky, it's a little inconsistent. But in terms of the actual composition of this, it's very nicely drawn. It all flows very nicely. Yeah, I give this one, I think, like a 7 out of 10. Okay, next up, we've got a bit of a Ween vibe going on now with this jack-o'-lantern with these like all these leaves coming off it. I love this shade of like deep purple. Very tempted to sing Smoke on the Water now. That is by Deep Purple, isn't it? Tune! And one of the first things that I learnt on the old guitar. Anyway, we're talking about Ween stuff. So this tattoo is a little bit chaotic, but I'm kind of here for it. It kind of works for this tattoo, I think. I love things all dark and spooky, especially stuff when it's related to the Ween. And this is a very nice tattoo. This is some really, really crispy line work. Much better line work than in the previous tattoos that we've looked at already today. As I say, I love this shade of deep purple. It's just popping out in between like the mouth and the eyes and the nose, and that just like really makes the tattoo pop. And then the purple contrasts really well with this like 2 different shades of green that we've got in the leaves around the top of the old jack-o'-lantern. Yeah, a chaotic composition, but an effective composition. Gonna give this one an 8 out of 10. Oh, so next up we've got this like crocodile alligator back piece going on. So first off, I am a little confused by this because it looks like the belly of the alligator, but it's on its back. Does that make sense? Like, the back of the alligator has got what I would consider to be the belly, what you would expect to see as the belly of the alligator, but it's on the alligator's back, unless I'm misunderstanding this. So that is a little bit strange to me. Having said that, this is a pretty nice tattoo. Like, I love the composition with the tail whipping around right up the back. Got some really nice line work in here. Love these different flowers around it to give that kind of swampy effect, but like a really pretty kind of swamp. The gator's got so much like personality. Look at this mischievous little motherfucker. Yeah, so my confusion aside, someone feel free to correct me in the comments below, but I would consider it to look like the belly is on its back, if that makes any sense. But a very well executed tattoo. This one also gets an 8 out of 10. Okay, so now we have this like blackwork cowgirl tattoo with a little cowhide kind of hat on its head. A little love heart with an arrow going through it, just on like the top of its arm. A very nice tattoo. This won't come as a surprise to any of my kind of regular viewers, but I love like a lady head tattoo that's done really well. I'm always gonna love a lady head tattoo that's done really well. This is a lady head tattoo that's done pretty fucking well. Like, she's got a lot of personality. She looks kind of sad, but you know, it's okay to be sad. I love like this makeup around her eyes. That's very effective. I love her little sad little mouth. Love the tattoo that's on her arm. This bandana that's around her neck is shaded very nicely. The hair's done really well. The hat's done really well. In terms of the line work, I'd like to kind of see a bit of a thicker kind of line work. Like, obviously the outline is going to spread out over time and will thicken up over time anyway, but I don't know, like with the traditional tattoo, I really like a thick outline. This is a little thin for me. The line work is also just a little bit shaky. It's not the crispiest line work that you've ever seen in your life, but overall the tattoo is still really very nice indeed. We give this one a 7 out of 10. Okay, next up we've got this like couple of roses with some stems and some leaves coming off them. Okay, so this is real simple. We've got black, washed out black in like the stems and a little bit in the leaves, and then just red. Oh, and there's a tiny bit of yellow just poking in there. Just a couple of little bits of yellow that you really have to look for, like a kind of Where's Wally of yellow, you know? A really very nice tattoo. Some really sick line work, like especially the line work on these leaves is just magnifico. The rose is really well done. It's shaded really nicely. It's lined really nicely. The overall composition of the tattoo is sick. It looks like it's maybe on the back of like a calf, like just here, and it fits that area of the body really well. Yeah, a real sick tattoo. A 9 out of 10, I would say. Oh, hello. So we got another cowgirl. This time she's like riding a panther though, which is like so sick. Such a sick idea for a tattoo. Obviously we've got this really like bold orange and yellow in here. What other colours have we got? We've got some green in there, red in there. Obviously you got your black in there. You've got some brown in there to imply the skin tone. This cowgirl's got tattoos on her arms as well. What a badass. I love this tattoo. This composition is so sick. Like, you really don't want to mess with this girl, do you? She's gonna lassoon you up. You ain't gonna mess with someone who's literally riding a panther. Oh, this is such an unbelievably sick tattoo. The composition is just brilliant. The crispiest line work that you've ever seen, shaded to absolute perfection. I love this contrast between this like red and orange. Just such an excellent tattoo. Her makeup is done so well. As I always say, so much personality in this tattoo. Yeah, 10 out of 10 for me. Okay, so next up we've got this like scorpion. We've got a few flower fillers around it. Some nice crispy line work on this one. It's shaded really nicely with like the pepper shading on the back. You've got this kind of more like washed out black to imply grey, which contrasts really nicely with like the deeper black shading. I love this shade of like mustard yellow that's like sprinkled throughout the tattoo as well. Love where they put the flower fillers. Yeah, a real simple composition but a really effective one. So it looks like this is on the side of a calf, maybe. Yeah, a really nice little tattoo. An 8 out of 10 for me. Okay, so we have a frog astronaut now. You know, just your typical frog who, you know, has taken up a life of an astronaut. You know, they sent monkeys into space, dogs into space. Now we've got a frog who's going into space. I love this. This is such a well done tattoo. I love this shade of blue that they've used. I mean, all the colours that they've chosen are absolutely great. They fit this tattoo really nicely. This shade of green for the little frog is perfect. Contrasts so well with this shade of red as well. Got some really nice line work here as well. Great little composition. This frog has got so much personality. Yeah, really funny and just an effective little tattoo. A 9 out of 10 for me. I really like that one. Okay, and then lastly, we've got this doggy that's being held by this pretty lady who's in like a swimming costume, who I assume is standing like a pool. We've got this like water down the bottom. Look at this cute little doggo. Love dogs. This is such a well done tattoo of a dog as well. He's got so much personality. Look how much joy he spreads. I mean, the lady's really well done as well, but look at the doggo. I love the shading on his back to like imply all the fur. That's really well done. I love how he's wearing like a little purple bandana, which then matches the lady's swimming costume. She's got a really simple but a really pretty little face. Love the shade of yellow for like her blonde hair. Skin tone's done really nicely as well for the lady. And then this water down the bottom to like imply like the swimming pool. That's really well done as well. It's really simple, but it's really effective. Yeah, I really love this tattoo. I think this is probably one of the best traditional tattoos that I've seen that like depicts a dog in it. It's just so well done. Would love to see how this tattoo looks healed. Yeah, I'm gonna give this one a 9 out of 10 as well. And that is it. Those are my reactions to some traditional tattoos that have been posted on the Reddit. If you did enjoy this video, give it a like and hit the subscribe button and all of that other YouTube bollocks. If you like the music that you're hearing in the background, well, it was actually all produced by me. I've got another channel where I post beats / instrumentals that I've written for singers to use to write songs to, so if that is something that you are interested in, I'll put a link in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.